Growing up, I was the most unlikeliest of businesswomen. I never expected when I was a child that I would be an entrepreneur. I was a simple girl from the Norfolk countryside. But I went into 9-to-5s when I came out of higher education, and I worked in an office for the first 10 years of my working life, and I really didn't enjoy it. In 2012, two big things happened. Firstly, my husband set up his own business. And the second thing that happened was my mum passed away from cancer after a long drawn-out battle. So we made the decision that I would leave the 9-to-5. My husband would be the sole breadwinner, and I would start work with my dad on his holiday villas to provide an income for him. And working with my dad and building these villas up from scratch taught me a lot about myself and what my capabilities are. And I enjoyed being self-employed so much that when my husband's business went into liquidation, sadly, in 2014, it just became an amazing opportunity for me to pursue my own business, and the decision was made. Oh yes, I did. So my parents were both self-employed. They ran a pub in Norfolk. My mum ran the restaurant side and my dad ran the pub side. He was front of house. And I saw what was involved in being self-employed. I saw the hard work. They would wake up at 9 in the morning and they would do the books and they would order in stock and prepare meals for the day. They would open at 11, do the lunchtime shift, and then they would shut, reopen again at 7 o'clock and do it all over again. And if anything, it put me off working for myself a little bit because they were working so many hours, weekends as well, and there wasn't much scope for free time or holidays or anything like that. It was full on hard work. My dad is a born entrepreneur. When he was growing up, he did every occupation from being a lead singer and a lead guitarist in a rock band to being a tiler, a hairdresser. He used to import cars into the Middle East, and he did everything, and he was so passionate about business. So that was my formative years. And although what my parents did with the pub, it kind of put me off running a business a little bit, there must have been something there, because I remember very distinctly when I was 13 years old setting up a car washing company with my friends, and we had a ledger, we would track expenses and incomings, and we had great fun doing that. So there must have been a spark of entrepreneurialism there. I have many business leaders who inspire me. Most of them are within my sector and probably aren't known to your viewership, but I am inspired by anybody who leads with love. So the biggest one for me is obviously Richard Branson, who teaches that if you look after your people in a business, they will look after you. But I would say my biggest inspiration is actually Oprah Winfrey, because her story is so incredibly powerful. You know, she was born into poverty. She was abused as a child. When she was 14, she fell pregnant. She gave birth to her son prematurely, and then soon after, he passed away. And this lady is a self-made multi-billionaire. She came from nothing, and she proved that your history doesn't matter. Where you come from doesn't matter. You can create your life into anything that you want it to be if you have the vision. She's now an incredibly successful woman, one of the most influential people in the world, one of the greatest philanthropists, and throughout everything she does, her core values are always personal growth, spirituality and mindfulness. And so I relate to her on a business level, but also as a human. Honestly, no. I had absolutely no idea how important my background in psychology would be to my career in network marketing. I've always had a really strong interest in human behaviour. So first with my A-levels, and then I went to study it in university. And I used to read psychology textbooks for fun. That's how obsessed I was with psychology. And when my husband's business went into liquidation, I actually enrolled into a 3-year course in psychotherapy and hypnotherapy. And that was going to be plan A, because I wanted to be involved in a career that involved giving back and contributing, and something that I felt a huge amount of passion for. But at the same time as enrolling in that course, I actually enrolled in Younique as well. And what I learned very quickly was that the two are completely interrelated. And the skills that I was learning in the hypnotherapy course and psychotherapy course, I was actually using them in Younique, and I was helping people to build their confidence and to realize their potential, and I was giving them a vehicle to actually help them achieve their goals in life. So very quickly, Younique became Plan A, and the hypnotherapy course became Plan B, and then eventually I deferred the course. I still would like to complete it one day. I actually didn't know that network marketing existed as a profession when I found it. I was quite naive in that way. It wasn't big on social media, none of my friends were doing it. I had been to an Avon party and I had been to an Ann Summers party when I was at uni, but I naively thought that this was something that people were employed to do. So I wasn't really aware that there were other companies out there. So when I stumbled across an ad on Facebook for Younique, the first thing I did was research the company, and I was added into a Facebook group as well that was there to show us what it was all about, to introduce us to the company and to teach us what network marketing involves. And what I discovered while I was researching the company was that firstly, the compensation plan was designed around helping others. You can only be successful in Younique by helping other people find their own level of success. Their core values was all about uplift, empower and validate and build self-esteem in women, and that's something that is extremely important to me. It's very much in line with my own core values. The products were amazing. I had already tried a couple of the products before joining, and the ingredients were high quality, they were consumable, and if I'm going to be in sales, I want to know that I am working with a consumable product so that I'm not trying to find brand new customers all the time and I can create raving fans. So that was a big draw. But honestly, the thing that appealed most to me was the group that I was added to by my upline. And all of a sudden, I was introduced to this group of amazing women who all had big goals and big dreams and big ambitions. They were supporting each other, they were sharing ideas, there was no extreme competitiveness. And it was just a group of women that I wanted to be involved with, and it was a company that I wanted to align myself with. So we build our network marketing businesses based on small action that we do on a consistent daily basis. And over time, that small action compounds into big results. So what I do is I follow my own personal DMO, which means daily method of operation. And it just means that I keep track of my own income producing activities. But as a leader of a large team, it's super important for me that I lead a team that feels appreciated and supported in absolutely everything they do. So a large portion of my time is dedicated to my team. At the moment, I'm organising a leadership retreat in Spain for my top leaders, where we go and relax and share ideas and recuperate for a little while. We run big training events that we spend a lot of time planning, where we get the entire, not just my team, but the entire of the UK is invited to come along, be inspired, learn sales tips, learn how to build a business. But I also spend a lot of time working one-on-one with people, qualifying them for my time. And if they want to take this business seriously and really run with it, then I will spend a lot of time one-on-one coaching and helping them to achieve their goals. But I also, very important to me, dedicate a portion of my day to self-care. So whether that's yoga, whether that is meditation, self-development, time with my husband, I feel like everybody needs to make that a part of their daily method of operation. You might want to ask my husband. In the early days, oh boy, yes, was I competitive. I would compete with people to find out who was the most competitive, and I was definitely a Monopoly board flipper as a child. So in the early days, yes, I was, but this business has taught me to tone it down a lot. And now, when you ask me that question, I would say not so much. For me, it's about stepping aside and giving my team time to shine. So I've achieved pretty much every accolade that this organisation provides, and I've achieved a lot in my 4 years with Younique. Now it's time for my team to experience that and for my team to have that limelight. And I am the one right at the front of the crowds on the sidelines cheering them on. I'm still competitive in as much as I'm competitive with myself. So anything I put my mind to, I want to do it to the best of my ability. Whether it's in my hobbies, whether it's in my business, I like to do it better than the last time I did it, if that makes sense. So the 3 main habits that have enabled me to make a success of my business. Number 1 is starting my day right. whether that's with yoga or meditation. The last thing I'm going to do when I wake up is go into my Facebook Messenger or my back office. I want to start the day with the right frame of mind, and I learnt that from a book called The Miracle Morning. The second habit that I've developed is getting into the habit of doing a daily DMO. That keeps you focused on the income producing activities. We have a business that's mainly on social media, and it is so easy to be distracted by what your friends are doing or by cat videos. So by following a DMO, you know that you're focusing on income producing activities. And the third habit that has enabled me to grow is having a very, very strong focus on self-development. Every single day, I will read or listen to at least 30 minutes of something that's going to grow me. And it has been said that our industry is nothing more than a course in personal development with a compensation plan attached, because the more you grow yourself, the more your wealth will grow. And even more than that, the more you can grow other people, the more your team's success will grow. So those are the three things that have been crucial to me to grow my business. In network marketing, you cannot be successful unless you have a healthy, happy, confident, thriving team. So for me, my team is absolutely everything. Take any of my leaders, I could tell you what their goals are, I could tell you where they've come from, I could tell you their families' names, I could tell you their biggest dreams and their biggest fears. And for me, they are everything to me. Their goals are my goals, and I will go to the ends of the earth to help these women. We can only find success in network marketing by helping other people get what they want, by helping them achieve their goals. That's why this is such a beautiful industry. So for me, the most important thing is to introduce women to my business and to teach them the skills and help them become the person that they need to become successful. I'm not the best seller in the company. I'm a good recruiter, but I'm not the best recruiter in the company. But what I am good at is teaching people and being an empath and leading with love. And because I'm that way, it's duplicated down into my team as well. And so the whole team is like, we are so supportive of one another. And I would say that is the main reason why the team has been so successful as a collective. So the Younique Foundation is the entire reason that Younique exists in the first place. Our founder, Derek Maxfield, he had a very successful company previously to Younique, and he sold it in 2012, and he used the proceeds of that sale to start Younique, completely debt-free. And the entire reason for Younique was to fund the Younique Foundation, which is a foundation that works to rehabilitate women who underwent sexual abuse as children and as adolescents. We have the Haven Retreat, which is a retreat that's nestled in the mountains of Utah, and 3 weeks of every single month it takes women in from all over the world who've gone through trauma, and it works to rehabilitate them through activities and by providing them counselling and tools and a safe space to be amongst other people who've experienced the same things. Now the plan is for retreats to open all over the world. That is the end goal of the Younique Foundation, and it's something that as presenters we feel extremely passionate about this, and I personally know people who have been and who have taken so much away from it. Defend Innocence is a separate campaign. So where the Younique Foundation works to rehabilitate women who've been through trauma, the Defend Innocence campaign, it works to nip sexual abuse in the bud before it can happen. And Defend Innocence educates parents, caregivers and community leaders in the statistics of childhood sexual abuse, the warning signs, what to look out for and how to prevent it. So the advice I would give to anybody who's looking to start their own network marketing business is firstly decide what you want. Our compensation plan is designed in such a way that you can do this as a hobby, you can do it just to be around other like-minded women and have a little bit of fun. You can do this to earn a little bit of extra pocket money to ease the family budget. You can do it to earn a part-time income, a full-time income, or if you're like me, you may want to shoot for the moon and take it all the way. So my first piece of advice is to decide what you personally want and then share that with your upline so that they can support you in your goal. My next piece of advice is to take action. Don't worry about getting it right first time. Don't worry about being perfect. Allow yourself to be messy. Allow yourself to make mistakes, but learn from those mistakes, because imperfect action is better than perfect inaction every single day of the week. But as you're taking action, also do the self-development. Train yourself on the skills that you need to do this. And my final piece of advice is to have realistic expectations. This industry, like any other, in any other industry that you would start a business in, it's not easy. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes resilience and personal growth. I always say that getting to the top of a network marketing company is a 3, 5, 7-year plan. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, because you need to grow yourself into the person that you need to be to do this, and that takes time. So be patient, ride the highs, ride the lows, enjoy the journey, and just be realistic about what it's going to take.